This is Jack Moelmann, and we're in the town of O'Fallon, Illinois, which is near St. Louis. And it's the 23rd of August, 2019, and we haven't done one of these recordings and interviews in a long time, but we have a special guest today. It's Nicholas, that's his full name. He goes by Nick Renkosik, who's from Wonder Lake, is that?
Wonder Lake, Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois, up near Wisconsin and Chicago, and anyway, north of where we're at. And so he's down here. He'll tell you a little bit about it, but we thought we'd talk to him. He's about 20 years old, come a long way in the organ world for sure. Let's start by, how did you get started in music? What was your first?
Well, I started playing piano at about age 4. It was just kind of a natural instinct sort of deal. My parents said I always was attracted to, whenever we'd visit like an electronics store, someplace that had a piano or a keyboard, I would always gravitate towards that and want to play it. So I started playing piano at age 4, and with organ, I'd have to say it was through church. We'd, go to mass on the weekends, and I'd always choose to sit near the pianist at the church. But there were a few weekends where we couldn't go to our normal time, and we had to go to, say, the noon mass. That was when the organist would play. And the first time I heard that, I was hooked straight on forward. I said, I want to learn how to play that someday, and I made it my goal to get there to play the organ.
So you've been getting around, haven't you, a little bit? What have you been doing lately in the past couple years or so?
Well, I've kind of traveled in this part of the U.S., the eastern half, playing concerts a lot in the Chicago area. I've gotten involved with the Dairyland Theater Organ Society, of which I'm on the board of as a director. I've played at venues like San Filippo's Estate up in Barrington on the 5-manual 80-rank Wurlitzer, the Carmex hybrid organ, which is just about, as of now in 2019, about 82 ranks, I believe, and played in Atlanta, down there for their chapter, Indianapolis, down here with Jack for his production at the Lincoln Theater in Belleville, and next month I'll be going to the Nethercutt Collection out in California to perform.
Yeah, a couple years ago you played at the Fox Theater, didn't you, here in St. Louis?
Yes, I did. I was the lobby organist for the after the show music for your last production there. That was a lot of fun.
So now you're going to school. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm currently entering my 3rd year at Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Piano and organ performance emphasis. Organ is my major, piano is like a secondary instrument. But I've been studying that there now for 2 years, entering my 3rd year, and gone on tour with our orchestra to accompany them on piano, and this coming January I'll be going to Japan with them.
So classical organ, theater organ, all kinds, what?
I'm studying predominantly classical organ and classical piano at school. But I'm also in a jazz band too, and
So what is it that you want to do? What's your long-range ambition here?
Well, I would like to be a music director for a church. That's my end goal. But I still want to continue with, playing concerts around. Theater organ is a passion of mine, and even though it's not what I know I'm going to make my living on someday, it's something that I'd like to carry forward and bring to future generations and just keep, pursuing and moving on with.
Okay, what would be your advice to a young person that is maybe playing around with a keyboard or something? What would you tell them about pursuing this as an avocation?
Well, if I were to talk to, some kid a little bit older, the age I started taking it seriously, like, 8 or 9 years old, I'd probably say, I'd forewarn them. I'd say, you're gonna have rough patches. You're not gonna want to practice. You know, you're going to have your days where it's just going to be hard. And I know I did. You know, I almost quit a handful of times just because of lack of enthusiasm. But, you know, you have to realize, and I know it can be hard as a kid, that those moments will pass, and you'll be inspired by something. You know, you'll go to a concert and hear, you know, a great pianist or a great organist, and you want to keep going forward and learning, and you know, just, you know, keep looking ahead, and you know, take the bad days right along with the good days, you know, and just keep moving forward if you really love it.
We always have a problem of getting an audience. What would be your advice to people watching this that don't play or don't want to play, but how would you get them into one of these programs?
As a you know, an audience member,
Sure.
say? Well, I would say to them, you know, first, I think that's a responsibility on the musician's hand too. That's giving the performance, and I know we've had a lot of discussion over the past few years with programming in a theater organ concert or what have you. You know, should it be modern music? Should it be purely traditional? You know, the stuff that everyone's used to. My take on that is, it should be a little bit of a mix. You know, it shouldn't all be old, and it shouldn't all exclusively be a new concert. Nathan Avakian, Zach Frame, and I just did a concert at the San Filippo Estate about a month or two ago. And we had a lot of contemporary music at that concert, and we also had some traditional pieces. And the best thing about that was everyone left happy, because there was something for people that were looking for the modern music. There was something for the people that were looking for the traditional music. It was balanced. So I would say, you know, to an audience member, you know, it's kind of hard to expect something of them, since it's such a, you know, a huge boat of people of all ages that can show up at these things. But I'd say more to the performer, not to rephrase the question, but, you know, plan your programs for who you're playing for. If you're playing for younger people, augment it. If you're playing for an older crowd, augment it as well.
Well, good. We've probably bring this to a close now. We've been speaking to Nick Renkosik at down here near St. Louis. It's the 23rd of August 2019, and we'll let you have the last word. What would you like to say to anybody about anything?
Well, what I would like to say is, doing this is just a lot of fun. You know, this is a profession, you know, this is a serious instrument like any other, but, you know, reflecting back on some of the concerts that I've done in the past year or two, it's just what everyone's been telling me for a while now. You need to be having fun in order for your audience to have fun. And I know you've told me that many times too, Jack. It's, you know, it's an honor and a pleasure, and I'm having fun doing it. You know, that I think is really and truly the key, and has been for all of the greats.
Well, we wish you well, and look forward to hearing you, and we'll do this again in a few years and see how you've been doing.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.